All right, let's get right into it. As architects, our job is to build solid systems. And for what feels like forever now, everyone has been building RAG systems. But here's the dirty little secret. How are we actually testing them? Mostly by vibe checking. Yeah, you know what I mean. We ask a few questions, see if the answers feel right, and then we ship it. Well, today, we're done with that. We are moving beyond vibes. We're going to put on our architect hats and engineer a real, solid strategy for RAG evaluation.
So I've got a question for you, and I want you to be honest. Is your RAG system secretly lying to you? Because here's the thing. All the research shows that even when your system pulls the perfect piece of information, it can still hallucinate an answer. And look, in a high-stakes enterprise environment where accuracy is everything, that's not just some tiny bug. No, that's a critical, system-wide failure just waiting to blow up.
You know, for a while there, we all kind of bought into this myth. The big promise was that RAG was the magic bullet. The idea was so simple, right? Just ground the LLM in your own trusted data, and poof, the hallucination problem is solved. It was sold as this clean, straightforward architectural fix for these wild, unpredictable models.
But the reality? Well, as any architect who's actually been in the trenches building these things knows, it's so much more complicated. RAG isn't a magic bullet. It's a whole new system, and like any system, it comes with its own set of unique, really subtle ways to fail. The link between finding the right document and writing a good answer, it can break down into a dozen different places. And that's how you get answers that are misleading or completely ungrounded, the kind of stuff a simple vibe check will never catch.
So that brings us to the core of the problem, the RAG evaluation fallacy, or as I like to call it, why vibes aren't an architecture. Look, this isn't just about bad answers. It's about a bad process. Relying on vibes is just guesswork. Plain and simple. We need to engineer our way out of this.
Okay, so from an architect's point of view, you can't treat RAG like a black box. It's really a two-part system. Super simple. First, you've got the retriever. Its one job is to find the right evidence from your knowledge base. Second, you have the generator. It takes that evidence and writes the final answer. Now, here's the key. If either of these parts fails, the whole system is toast. A bad answer could mean the retriever grabbed the wrong stuff, or it could mean the generator totally misused the right stuff. We absolutely have to be able to tell the difference.
So, how do we architect a real solution for this? Well, we start with a solid methodology. Let's talk about the RAG Triad. The RAG Triad, this is going to be our core mental model. Think of it as a way to break down the problem. Instead of looking at the whole RAG pipeline at once, we're going to look at the two distinct jobs, retrieval and generation. By pulling them apart, you can pinpoint exactly where your system is failing. This framework is basically our map to find the source of the problem.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical. We take that abstract idea and turn it into real, measurable metrics. So, for the retriever, we're not just asking, hey, did you find something? No, we ask, is the info you found actually pertinent? That's context relevance. And this one's huge. Did you find all of the info you needed? That's context recall. Then we flip over to the generator. We measure faithfulness. Is the answer grounded only in the context we gave it? No making stuff up. And finally, answer relevance. After all that work, did we even answer the user's original question? See, this is how you systematically test each piece of the architecture.
All right, we've got our framework. Now it's time to talk about tools. But hold on, this isn't just going to be a boring list of features. Because in the world of RAG evaluation, there's a real philosophical divide. You're not just picking a library, you're choosing a whole design philosophy. So on one side of this divide, you've got what I call the researcher's lens. This world is all about lightweight experimentation, benchmarking different models, playing around. It's perfect for when you're in that R&D phase. But on the other side, you've got the engineer's workbench. This is about one thing: building production-ready automated tests that plug right into your CI/CD pipeline. This is for building scalable, repeatable quality checks into your code.
And the perfect tool for that researcher's lens? It's got to be Ragas. It's open source, it's lightweight, and it is laser-focused on those key RAG metrics we just talked about: faithfulness, context recall. It's built to help you figure out fast, is my problem retrieval or generation? The analogy I love is that Ragas is like the pandas library for RAG. It's just perfect for that quick exploratory analysis and experimentation.
Now, for the engineer's workbench, you've got DeepEval. And get this, it's billed as Pytest for LLMs. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know, right? Its whole reason for being is to integrate evaluation deep into an engineering workflow. It lets you treat every single LLM call like a unit test that you can automate in your CI/CD pipeline. We're talking a truly scalable, production-ready system here.
Okay, so we've got two philosophies, two tools. How do you, the architect, choose the right pattern? Let's put them head-to-head and see.
But before we even look at a feature comparison, you have to answer one simple, fundamental question about your project right now. Are you in experimentation mode, or are you building for production? Seriously, your answer to that one question changes everything. It dictates the tool you pick and the entire architectural pattern you're going to use.
And this table just lays out the trade-offs perfectly. Look at the ideal use case. Research and benchmarking? That's Ragas, hands down. But automated quality gates in production? You're talking DeepEval. Ragas' core strength is its super specialized metrics. DeepEval's strength? It's all about the developer experience and that slick, native CI/CD integration. And that analogy just keeps working. Pandas for digging around in the data versus Pytest for building rock-solid, repeatable tests.
So let's make this super simple. Here's the bottom line. If your team is still in the lab, swapping out embedding models, trying different chunking strategies, benchmarking LLMs, then you are looking through the researcher's lens. You should be using Ragas. But if your team needs to build automated quality checks directly into your pull requests and your deployment pipelines, then you are squarely in the engineer's workbench. You need DeepEval. It's that clear.
And that brings us to the ultimate goal here, right? The architect's endgame. It's not just about evaluating a RAG system once in a while. No, the real goal is to weave quality checks into the very fabric of your development lifecycle. True, lasting quality is always automated. It's never manual.
And believe it or not, it's actually pretty straightforward. Here's how you do it in 4 simple steps. 1, you create a test file, just like any other unit test you've ever written, and you define your golden data set in there. 2, you add one simple command, something like DeepEval test run, into your CI workflow file. 3, you set up quality gates. This will automatically block a pull request if your evaluation scores suddenly drop. And 4, you're done. You can now prevent regressions and ship with total confidence. This is what it looks like when quality is engineered in from the start, not just bolted on as an afterthought.
So if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Stop vibe checking your RAG system, start engineering its quality. It's time we treat it like any other critical piece of software architecture, with rigorous, automated, and measurable tests.
For more tech industry insights for your career or business, go to aaronwoobuilds.com or subscribe to this channel, link in description. Join the Inner Loop by getting in the email list. Let's level up our business and career from an architect's perspective.